Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry, originally in 1958. This is classic rock and roll. Takes some rhythm and blues, a little bit of country influence, and that's basically what started it all for rock and roll. I really encourage you to watch the movie Hail Hail Rock and Roll, which is a documentary on Chuck Berry, which features other artists such as Keith Richards and Eric Clapton and others talking about the influence Chuck Berry has had on their music. Now, Chuck Berry would have played this song on a Gibson 335, which is a semi-solid guitar that's solid in the middle and hollow on the top and bottom. Otherwise, though, it's similar to this Les Paul, which I'm going to use. You might also consider using a Gretsch or any guitar you want, really. It's not going to matter, but he had that sound with the humbuckers and whatnot. I'm going to play a little bit clean, but you might want a little bit of distortion. Like many of his other songs, this Chuck Berry composition includes classic bits such as the driving eighth note rhythm, which really gets you up and dancing, and the double stops, that's adjacent notes played on the guitar when he does his solo work. And I'm going to be showing you all those parts. We're going to start with the rhythm and then we'll move to the lead parts. And I'm going to explain a bit about how they fit into the song. So Johnny Be Good is based on a blues progression, 12-bar blues. They all have common elements, but there's sometimes variations. Basically, you're playing a pattern over 12 bars of chords, which are the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. In this case, the 1 chord is B flat, because that's the key of the song, and you find that on the 6th string, 6th fret, 1 above the 5th fret, which is the open A string, and the 1 above it, which is B. So B flat's between B and A. That's the key of the song. That's the 1 chord. The chord is a power chord, which is really just an interval. It doesn't have 3 notes. Is the 1 and the 5. And normally we play that with these 2 fingers like this. That gives you your kind of your rockin' sound right there. You get that because if you count do, re, mi, fa, sol, that's 5 notes. See, do, re, mi, fa, sol. And if you go up to 6 notes, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, you'd get up to the 10th fret here. And that's a bit of a stretch, but that's going to be a 6th interval. So if you can get your pinky up there, that's kind of a weird sound right there, but it works when you do this. You can make this stretch happen with some practice. It is nice and fortunate that it's up here and not down here, where the stretch would be even more. It's easier up the neck. So one suggestion I might have is if you can't make that reach, play it up a bit, like transpose it up, put a capo, whatever. You know, if you're moving it up 2 frets, put a capo on 2 frets and move up 2 frets. And that'll give you a little bit of an easier reach. But this is the 1 chord, E flat. So E flat is the next chord, and that would be E, and F would be the 5th chord. So 1 is B flat, 4 is E flat, and 5 is F. And you're always going to be playing the same thing, which is 5th and 6th chords in a pattern that's like 5-5-6-5, 5-5-6-5, 5-5-6-5, in a syncopation of like straight 8th notes with a little bit of palm muting, which is dampening the noise a little bit. And that's how you get your rhythm. It's fast, you know, for the original song, like, but, you know, practice it slower to start out with. So, you can practice those anywhere. I mean, those are in lots of songs. The pattern for Johnny Be Good, 12 bars blues, is going to be 4 bars of the 1 chord, 2 bars of the 4 chord, to a gain of the 1. That gets you to 8. 4 more to go, and that's 2 of the 5 and 2 of the 1. So 4 of the 1, 2 of the 4, 2 of the 1, 2 of the 5, 2 of the 1. Pretty simple. So I'm going to play through that right now, and I'm going to sing the lyrics just so you can get an idea of how it all hangs together. Deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans, we're back up in the woods among the evergreens. I stood a log cabin made of earth and wood. We lived a country boy named Johnny Be Good. Never ever learned to read or write so well, but he could play the guitar just like a ringing a bell. Go, go. And this is the part where you get to the go-go. This little bit has a few parts to it, so I'm going to break it down. You're going to be on the B string 9th fret and the G string 10th fret to get that sound. And the other chord you're going to do, or double stop, is throw on the 11th fret here on the B string. So it's that's the go, 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 Johnny, go, go. But there's two tricks to it. There's one at the beginning and one at the end. At the beginning, you're going to slide into it with the grace note from 1 fret below. So slide in, but don't give this the time of a whole note. Just give it like this is the note you're hitting, but you slide into it. And at the end, slide off down the neck. Like that. So it's basically, when you put it all together, it's going to be go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, go. And at this part, you're still going to be doing the changes. You're playing a tiny bit of rhythm here, but you're still going to be doing the changes to fit you into the 12-bar blues progression. The only other thing is at the end, Johnny Be Good, just before that, you're going to go. So when you slide off the end, give it 2 8s right there. So Johnny Be Good. These are the double stops that Chuck Berry is famous for. And you're going to find them all through the solo, the beginning solo and the end solo of the song. So if you can nail them for this part, that's a good step to getting them for the solo, which is like more of this and a bit more complicated, but building on this. The second time through the song, it's the same kind of feel to the note, except instead of double stops, you're playing bends. So instead of being up here, you're down here at the 8 and the 6 on the same 2 strings. So 8th fret on the G and the 6th fret on the B. And here you got to do bends. So you're going to bend full bends, so 2 frets, 1 whole note on the 8, which means you're going from this note to this note, which is the same as the B note. So you're going to bend up to the note that's on the other string. And if you do it all at once, it should sound like, but you're going to do it more like wah, 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 wah. So really, you're playing the same note like 5 times, but some of them have a bend and some of them don't. Go, Johnny, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go. Johnny Be Good. So that the last time, just before Johnny Be Good, you're going to basically do the same thing, but more of the bends. And also, there's going to be 1 double stop thrown in, which is the top 2 strings, 6th fret. So I'm going to do it slowly. It's Johnny Be Good. So that's Johnny Be Good. So the opening solo, I'm going to try and break that down into basically 4 parts, which some of them echo parts that you've already learned from the middle of the song, the Go, Go, Johnny, Go part, call and response. And we're going to start out with an intro 3 notes, which are basically incomplete from a measure. So that is, again, a simple slide up from the 6th to 7th fret on the G string. You'll find a lot of those in this song, but here's one spot where they're. And the 6th and 8th fret on the B string. And we're going to be hitting a lot of double stops around here, so you're going to see things like all over double stops. But the basic notes we're going to be hitting are and of course that's our 1 chord right there. So how does that work? Basically, the first 3 notes are, and then we start counting like in an actual bar. But we're gonna, although we're playing 8ths, we're gonna be counting them really in terms of 3s. So slide up 2 notes into the same double stop we did before at the end of a Go Go Johnny Go. From the 5th fret to the 6th fret, top 2 strings. And count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you're playing 9 notes, but with the accents on the 1, and the slides are there too. That's the first part. The next part is a rundown, which is, and you can count this in terms of 3s again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 extra, because if you count everything, you need that to fill out the bar. And that basically is played at the 9th fret, the 8th fret, the 6th fret, the 6th fret on the G string, the 7th fret, and then the 8th fret on the D string. And to put all that together, your first part is, second part, and now you're on to the third part, which is more of the same 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 pattern, which is right down here on the, it's really the top 2 notes, the 5th and the octave of the first chord, the B flat, which is to say A and D strings, 8th fret. And for that you got to do the same 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And the fourth part is, again, similar to the Go Johnny Go call and response bit, except instead of being up here at the 9th fret, it's more down here at the 7th fret, and slid in exactly the same from 1 fret below, except it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then slide down with this finger, not this finger because you're going to need this finger. So slide down to the 5th fret, 3rd fret, and then 5th fret on the D string. And put all together it's, and I like to add a tiny vibrato there. The next bit is, again, very similar to the Go Johnny Go bends that you did before. Go Johnny Go, go. But this time you're going to do a bit of a different syncopation on the rhythm, and that's, so you're doing basically a bunch of bends, but there's a difference between each alternating one, and the difference is, on one you're going to hold the note up, and on the other you're going to choke the note off so that there's a rest. So hold, rest, hold, rest, hold, rest, and it pretty much goes like that. There's a double stop thrown in there in the middle and also at the end. So it's basically, you pretty much either have to look at tab or listen to the recording to get that right. You know, write it down, memorize it, get the feel of it and whatnot. After that, it launches into another big lick, which is a really cool lick. So this lick here is some descending bits, but they kind of overlap each other. So the first rundown starts from the 6th fret which is B flat on the E string, same as your root note. We already did these 3 notes already. So there's 4 notes, and then come back and grab this one and repeat them all. So 4 notes, then 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And some double stops. 6, 7, hammer on here. Now you can downstroke everything, or you can alternate pick. It's really up to you. Sometimes I do one, sometimes I do the other. Those next 3 notes are raked, so it's kind of like a really fast triplet. Pull off from the 9th to the 8th fret, and then start again the same kind of bends between this note and this note, but with the double stops this time. And it's just do 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 3 times, and then same pattern there. So let's put it all together now. Start out with this bit here. Then some little descending bits. Then the chords here. And this little bit. And now your bends. Descending runs. Break. Bends. Double stops. Slide off, and then you're into deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans. And that's pretty much where you dive into the rhythm. Then you go Johnny Goes, and that's good. Now the only other part that's left over is the solo that's in the middle of the song, which is very similar to the one that opens the song. It's got a lot of the same, it's all the same like patterns, it's the same techniques, it's the double stops, the little slides, the slide offs, the bends. And I'm going to leave that one for you to basically look at some tab and figure that out on your own, knowing what you've learned from the intro solo. And that should be a good exercise. It's comparable difficulty. It's just more of the same, really. And that's what makes the song Johnny Be Good so rockin' good, is the fact that it's all those little things thrown together in basically a tight little package. And that's for you to learn. So practice, practice, practice. See ya.